Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. By using our link, you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. So, Naz, as a therapist on BetterHelp, what has your experience been like?
I've been doing it since January 2021, and it's been really fun and exciting. I've been able to reach clients all over the United States and the world. I've had good relationships. I've had folks that I've had for a couple months and a good handful where I've had for almost 2 years now. So it's magnificent. I've enjoyed my time and my clients. I love them.
Awesome. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel the most comfortable. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/DSP or choose Different Spectrums podcast during sign up and enjoy a special discount on your first month. Hey everybody, we back again.
We back. Spencer's a cook.
Of course, I'm Spencer, and we have our loudmouth licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Howdy doody, y'all. Dr. Nas.
Remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's up to you. I don't.
Measuring up, huh? All right. Anyways, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. So, before we get into it, shout out to BetterHelp, our lovely sponsor. I almost had it. Damn it. Almost had it. Go to betterhelp.com/DSP to get 10% off your first month of therapy. Go do it. Yeah. All right. As Nas drinks a sip of alcohol. All right. So today we are doing a clip show for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, specifically Raymond Holt / Andre Braugher, who passed away December 11th, 2023. So a little bit of a remembrance episode for us today. Captain Holt will always be, one of the best characters probably in TV. Just wanted to do an episode about him and kind of look back on the fond memories of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Captain Holt.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Nas, anything before we get into the show?
Story time.
No. I thought we were doing that after the break.
No. It's right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it was 1 second. Let me do this real quick.
Oh, okay.
Hey, everybody. Here's story time with Nas. This is the story time before the story time in the episode. So we're doing it before the clip. Then we're gonna do it after the clip.
No,
so,
not after the clip.
Nope, you're gonna do it. I know you will. This is what you do. So it's story time with Nas. Here we go.
Story time. We was in there with a student, right? And I was trying to get closer to our friends, and they were talking about how she wanted was a hug, this and that, right? Connection, love, support, blah, 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 all the mushy stuff. I said, don't you girls braid each other's hair or some shit? He goes, what? I said, yeah, braid, I don't know, sit down, I don't know. Maybe one of you can sit next to each other, braid each other's hair, or maybe you just like play with each other's hair. I like to play with hair. I ain't got nothing, but I like, yeah. Or, you're like, petting. I said,
all right.
Because, you just be like tickling or rubbing someone's leg, right? Or shoulder, or, doing this to their back. It's what I do. I don't know.
What?
Ain't got to be sexual. So I said, she's like, yeah, I like doing that with, with my partner. I said, it's fine to do with your friends. They said, everyone loves some heavy petting.
Fun fact. No, they do not. No, they do not.
No, they do not. I say, she was cracking up. Come back, fast forward a couple weeks later. She said, hey, I brought this up to my friends. She said, that motherfucker's crazy. She said,
pet me. I swear to fucking God.
Bruce friends, let me pet you now.
I'm freaking out.
You don't like me petted? Not for your big potato.
Not by my friends. No.
Yeah,
you. Pet me, friend.
Yeah, let me rub you on the shoulders and shit.
Jeez. Get the oil out.
Yeah. It's that good. It's that good massage, man. You're tense.
No. I wonder why.
I'm gonna grab
Big
your
Hawaiian
back.
man rubbing me down.
I'm gonna grab your back like Xerxes from 300. My divine power.
Just throw me down a fucking hole. I don't care anymore.
Shia LaBeouf's down there. Shout the holes. Shout the holes.
Oh my God.
But she comes back a couple weeks later. She's like, yeah, I brought these up to my friends. And she's like, we ain't braiding your fucking hair. And I was like, God, they're so fucking mean. She was like, and I said, can you braid her hair? She's like, no, she doesn't like to be touched or do people touch her hair. I don't fucking get you people, man. Y'all are the most weird, autistic fucking, y'all aren't even autistic. You're just really masculine, fucking shut off, weird fucking women. I don't know what's wrong with you, but I don't like any of your friends.
How about next time, like, I'd braid your back hair? How about that? We'll make it a fun day.
Pigtails. Yep. There you go. So I want to share a story. I walked outside and told the front desk lady, I said, hey, I just talked about, petting. And I said, heavy petting. And she goes, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
you deserve it.
That's the story for today.
That was pre-story. Watch out for our next story coming up after this.
Let's get to the scenes.
Whoop, whoop.
Pet. Pat. Whoop, whoop.
And the patrol guide, meet Morpsy. Robot captain, engage.
Is that what you think?
Hey! New captain alert. You must be the new CEO. I'm Detective Jake Peralta. Great to meet you.
No, don't let me interrupt. You were describing what kind of person I'm going to be. I'd like you to finish.
It's not necessary. Or I could recap very quickly, sure. Let's see. I think I said some joke about being a washed-up pencil pusher.
Now do the robot voice.
With
The robot voice you were doing when you implied I'm a rule-following robot. I want to hear it again.
meet more sharp robot.
That's a terrible robot voice.
Yep.
The next time I see you, I'd like you to be wearing a necktie.
Oh, actually, the last captain didn't care if we wore ties.
Well, your new captain does. And more importantly, he cares that you follow his direct orders. Everyone, I'm your new commanding officer, Captain Ray Holt.
Speech.
That was my speech.
Short and sweet.
Sergeant Jeffords, a word.
Yes, sir.
I love that guy.
Same.
He's so suave. Does anyone get a little bit of a gay vibe?
The math thing isn't the problem. Night shift's keeping you and Kevin apart. You two just need a bone.
What did you say?
Don't say it again.
I said you two need a bone.
How dare you, Detective Diaz? I am your superior officer! Bone! What happens in my bedroom, Detective, is none of your business. Bone! Don't ever speak to me like that again.
Why did you do that?
Dude was pent up. Now he knows. Problem solved.
Oh, she's worried about her motorcycle sitting idle, so she wants us to take it out once a day. Here.
I think you should do this. You're more the biker type. I've seen you use a toothpick in public. Motorcycles are death machines. I have 3 kids. I'm not risking it. Are you saying my life matters less because I don't conform to society's heteronormative, child-centric ideals?
Are you really playing the gay card right now?
Yas, queen. Mosey forward. Name and lights. Butt pop. Comb your hair. Now typing motion, pull it back, jump forward, pelvic pump.
You got it! Now all we need to do is run it all together and do it at full speed.
No, something way weirder is happening.
Hit it, Jeffords.
Hey, I'm definitely distracted.
I'm tired of politics. Let's get that punk, Bloodso.
This is amazing. Of course, we have no idea where he is, but I love where your head's at.
He has no family. Maybe there was a girlfriend or someone he worked with at the coffee shop.
The coffee shop. Why would someone who knows they have $21 million coming take a minimum wage job?
Because he needed access to that building.
Because that's where the money's hidden. All right, we gotta get there quick.
Maybe we should take the chopper.
Use that chopper.
Deathblade, Sidewinder, it's go time.
Roger that, wet blanket.
No, from now on, call me Velvet Thunder.
Okay.
So, I've been planning how to zing Madeline when she puts the medal on. I have the perfect line. Lunchtime is over. It's a play on lunchtime.
Yes, devastating burn, sir. But you know what would really show her is if you said nothing at all.
Oh, interesting. Let Madeline know she's not even worth my staying up all night crafting zingers.
Lunchtime took you all night?
Trust me, turn the other cheek. Which I recently learned is about faces and not butts. But works either way.
Yes. I should be the bigger person. It shouldn't be hard, given that Madeline's not technically a person.
For meritorious service, the NYPD bestows this award on Detectives Rosa Diaz, Jake Peralta, and Captain Raymond Holt.
Raymond,
Madeline,
you won. Go ahead and gloat, you toad.
thank you for this honor, Deputy Chief.
Oh. Okay. You're welcome.
Lunchtime is over. Boom, did it! Had it both ways. No regrets.
Who here does the best impression of Captain Raymond Holt? You will be judged on voice, body language, and overall lack of flair. Everyone will perform the same scenario. Captain Holt eating a marshmallow for the very first time. Let the Holt off begin!
What is this glutinous monstrosity before me?
The sugar in this is quite sweet.
That's your Holt impression?
I could hear him doing that.
Looks like a sticky pillow.
I don't care for it. Classical music.
What's going on here? What are you doing?
Captain, hey, nothing, just eating some marshmallows. Care for one?
Marshmallow.
I knew it!
Ah, Gordon, take a gander at this brine barrel from 1787. It looks to me like the work of Master Hooper Josiah Woodruff, who learned the craft from his father, Jesiah Woodruff, who in turn learned it from his.
I'm already so bored.
The slats are not flat, they're curved. The base of the barrel is approximately 20. Every barrel is inspected before usage. The key is that the oak was cured and shaped by Josiah's cousin, Joshua, who was a cooper and not a hooper.
Wait, are you still at the same barrel? Please move on to another one. There are so many barrels in there.
You know what? Let's look at that barrel.
Oh, thank God.
It's a brine barrel as well. It was also made in the 1780s. In fact, it's identical to the last barrel. Let's review why that's interesting.
I really want to know how she is. Insinuate. Maybe add a pause before wife.
Commissioner Grayson, how's your wife?
Too long.
Felt it. Ugh, this is not my strong suit.
No, sir. You're doing great. Just forget the pause. Use your eyebrows, like this. How's your pump, wife?
How's your pump, wife?
It was a little bit better in my head. Try this. How's your pump, wife? Pump.
And on a double pump? That's risky. You'll see right through me. How about pump, How's your pump?
You forgot to say wife.
Ah, good note.
How about this? How's your pump wife? Pump Grayson. Pump.
That's the one. Captain Wunsch, good to see you. But if you're here, who's guarding Hades? Huh. Meat from the street. Sounds like a fun treat. I'm a poet and didn't even know I was rhyming those words. But it happened anyway. It's a great idea, partner. Ruth, I'm gonna be straight with you. I accidentally knocked up a woman.
Greg!
You know me. I see a pair of thick, weighty breasts, and all logic flies out the window. I don't know what's going on down at police headquarters, and no one will tell me anything.
So you're saying that not knowing what your bosses are up to is driving you a little crazy?
You've used my logic against me. Well played, Timmy. Well played.
Thank you, sir.
Look at that. You've helped me find my smile. Hello, Detective. Is there a reason you're interrupting me mid-soup?
Whoa, you really made the balloon arch.
Made? No. I birthed her. Do you want to know how I actually hurt my wrist?
Yes.
I was hula hooping. Kevin and I attend a class for fitness and for fun.
Oh my God.
I've mastered all the moves. The pizza toss, the tornado, the scorpion, the oopsie doodle.
Why are you telling me this?
Because no one will ever believe you.
No. You sick son of a bitch.
So who was your partner back when you caught the Brooklyn broiler?
Martin Ormancup. He was a great partner. Smart, loyal, homophobic, but not racist. In those days, that was pretty good. I've never been more proud of you for anything in your life.
I mean, I've solved a lot of cases for you.
And yet crime has continued. Vindication!
The Cairn Terrier is intelligent and inquisitive with a bold personality.
A bold personality. We know what that's code for. She's a bitch. Sergeant, I'd like you to meet Richard and Dan. They are puppies.
Very cute, sir.
Maybe your twins would like some little furry friends.
I'm sorry, sir, but that's impossible. With the twins learning how to walk, chaos reigns at the Jeffords household. I can't let those innocent pups into that madhouse. Terry won't do you like that.
I understand. Just know, you have disappointed all three of us.
That's cold, sir.
If you excuse me, Sergeant Wells, we need to go to the BRB. It's BRB time. We're BRB. Make space.
You make space! This closet is for people who are freaking out.
Oh, I'm fully freaking out. I just experimented with an unfamiliar acronym in public. BRB, what does it even mean?
Be right back.
It has the same number of syllables as the acronym. What's the point?
This is great. I had no idea Captain Holt was interested in food.
I have zero interest in food. If it were feasible, my diet would consist entirely of flavorless beige smoothies containing all the nutrients required by the human animal. There were very few black detectives. Did I ever tell you what my first day on the job was like? Hello, I'm Raymond Holt.
Are you here to turn yourself in?
It's 9 a.m. Why is no one working?
Amy Santiago is a few minutes late, and we're all trying to guess why.
I like to play. I'd say she's in line at the bank. This is fun.
It is fun, but you're all wrong. She clearly slipped through a subway grate and is having terrible sex with a mole man. There she is, Amy. Where have you been? We've been worried sick. Do you care to explain yourself?
I'm just 70 seconds late. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Santiago, you will tell us, and you will tell us now.
There was a problem at the bank.
Hot damn! I've been researching ways to raise morale, and I found an interesting article in a scientific journal.
Oh, was it from the American Journal of No One Cares?
According to a recent study, the physical act of smiling can improve your mood. I suggest we give it a shot. Now you all try. Big smiles. Bigger, bigger. Great. Now we just have to stay like this for the next 2 hours. Can you feel it? Working?
I don't have any enamel on my teeth, so the cold air is excruciating.
Maybe if you brushed your teeth once in a while, this wouldn't be a problem.
I do brush my teeth. They're decaying from acid reflux. You're embarrassing yourself.
Crikey!
You're not Australian, Gina.
Get stuffed, you drongo!
Guys, seriously, too much exposure to air and they will turn to dust.
This isn't working out as well as I'd hoped. Time for the next level. Forced laughing.
Jackpot. Let's do this.
And how am I supposed to get all the way up there?
Gracefully.
Boost my bottom!
I'm boosting!
Boost my bottom!
I'm boosting!
Boost it! And now it's time to send in our cute little secret weapon.
I'm ready, Captain. I love the nickname.
No, Charles, not you. I was talking about Cheddar.
Oh, right, obviously.
Over the past month, I've had him trained to retrieve plaques. And now, boy, it's time to make Daddy proud.
Yes, sir.
I could not have been more clearly talking to the dog.
Sir, I thought you said this was my case.
I gave you 2 weeks. I'm done fending off the organized crime unit. Squad, since Peralta's briefing was cut short, you can all use this time to clean up your desks. Look at this place, half-eaten food, crumpled tissues, pictures of your families.
What's wrong with pictures?
If you love someone, you'll remember what they look like.
You all right, Captain? Tough weekend?
I went to Barbados with my husband. We wove hats out of palm fronds and swam with the stingrays. I've never been happier.
Guy's impossible to read. Don't even try.
That is without question the funniest story I've ever heard.
What'd you do? What'd you say?
Nothing. We just said welcome back.
And laughed with him about all the weight he gained in France.
Why is everyone just standing around? Get back to work!
So long, Tank.
Tank! I gained 3 pounds in Paris. 3 pounds!
Sarge, that painting is tight.
It's terrible. The brushwork is sloppy, it's poor use of negative space. I'm a fraud.
Not at all. I'd like to take this home for my husband. He'll be glad you made me look so happy. Rise and shine, detectives, rise and shine. Peralta, I want you to bring everyone up to speed.
You slept in your office and you look exactly the same. How?
What are you talking about? My hair is a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Captain. Mind if we sit?
Is everything okay?
Nothing's okay. Wunsch circling me like a shark frenzied by chum. The task force turning into a career-threatening quagmire, an internal affairs investigation casting doubt upon my integrity. And you ask, is everything okay? I am buffeted by the winds of my foe's enmity and cast about by the towering waves of cruel fate. Yet I, a captain, am no longer able to command my vessel, my precinct from my customary helm, my office. And you ask, is everything okay? I've worked the better part of my years on Earth, overcoming every prejudice and fighting for the position I hold. And now I feel it being ripped from my grasp. And with it, the very essence of what defines me as a man. And you ask, is everything...
A few more questions for you, Doctor.
Doctor, huh? It's funny when people call dentists doctor.
We are doctors. We do 4 years of medical school.
That was called dental school.
But we learn about the entire body.
Yeah, but if you had cancer, you can call it dentist.
You know it's actually harder to get into dental school than medical school.
Well, because there are fewer dental schools. Because most people want to become actual doctors.
That's ridiculous. It's not like we're college professors calling ourselves doctors.
It's not the same thing, my friend.
Sure it is. When someone has a heart attack on a plane, do they yell out, yo, does anybody here have an art history PhD?
A PhD is a doctorate. It's literally describing a doctor.
Maybe let's refocus.
No, the problem here is that medical practitioners have co-opted the word doctor.
Okay, Captain.
Now, I know we live in a world where anything can mean anything, and nobody even cares about etymology. Apparently, that's a trigger for me.
Yeah, apparently.
So, you're leaving. It must have been a hard decision.
Honestly, it wasn't.
It's funny. On my first day here, I asked Jeffords to tell me about everyone. Told me you were a great detective, but the one thing you couldn't figure out was how to grow up. Well, I think you finally figured it out.
Well, thank you, sir. I couldn't have done it without you.
Over the years, you've sometimes referred to me as something of a father figure.
Did I? I didn't realize that.
But I want you to know, if I had a son, and he had turned out like you, I would be very proud of him.
Thank you, sir. Wow. Wasn't expecting to get this emotional.
It's not bad for an old robot, huh? Yeep, warp, seep.
Sir, did you just make a joke?
I believe I did. Yes. I guess in the end, we rubbed off on each other quite a bit. Title of your sex movie. Did I do that right?
It was perfect.
Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about our new collaborator, Toink Toys. They have a wide selection of, you guessed it, toys and other great collectibles. They have products from Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, and everything pop culture. You could say they put the toy in Toink. So go check them out at toink.com and use our code Different Spectrums Podcast to get 10% off your entire order today. We back again.
We're back and we're live. Like the tism that's in Raymond Holt's character.
Yes.
Very autistic. Very autistic. Yeah.
Yeah, so today we're kind of just chilling, doing this is the easy pod, right? Just want to sat back, talk about some clips about Raymond Holt. Pretty easy, right? Pretty. Yeah, I mean, what was your favorite episode or moment with Raymond Holt?
So they showed one of them was the bone one.
Right. Bone.
I feel like it's just so funny because he's so loud in it, and he's always cool, calm, collected. And this crosses up everything. So if we backtrack it a smidge, this character is like super autistic, in my opinion, coded autistic through and through. Me and Spence, I'll ask him a question in a second, but I think many of them are autistic just in general, or at least ADHD. They all got a little autism. Mm-hmm. So the very first clip that we'll show is the Meat Morp one, the robot one, which is pretty much how he acts. Mm-hmm. And then you see him later in all these funny clips. These are the out of pocket moments. So if people don't get it, like why we're showing this, well, for one, it's out of respect because he's one of our favorite characters. He passed away, super fucking sad. I go to sleep to the show almost every night. You know what I mean? It's a big part of my life. This show was on for like 8-9 years because there was a couple breaks in there too because it switched from NBC to Fox or from Fox to NBC. Yeah, from Fox to NBC.
Fox to NBC, I think.
And I think it ended like during the pandemic. Yeah, because they did some pandemic stuff, so it ended like in 2021.
Yeah.
So whenever he's out of pocket, or like one of my favorite things, like loud, because it doesn't make sense with his character. Whenever they make fun of his stoicism, we'll be like, "Oh yeah, can't you tell I'm happy?" And they're like, no facial expression. He's like, "This is the most I've ever smiled in my entire life." I'm like, what the fuck? This scene that we showed when he's talking to Rosa, they cut it early. They shouldn't have. About how to break up with the dude. He's like, you got to send more than a text. Because she just sent him like, hey, we're breaking up. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, maybe I can send like an email or like or just like a longer text. And he's like, that'll do. And then someone comes in, you both are fucking psychopaths. He's just so autistic in this show. So we'll get into why I think he is like that. It's hard to pick your favorite episode, Spence. It really is.
Right.
Sounds like you might have a couple. Like they're all in there. They're all in there. Some of the ones where one of my favorite moments is the one we're going to show at the end, or we showed at the end, is when he tells Jake pretty much, I love you.
Right.
And then there's another one where he's getting ready to get promoted. Wunsch promotes him. And he's getting ready to leave Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's like, I love all of you deeply. And this has been some of the best moments of my entire life. And I'm just like, oh! So some of my favorite moments. Spectrum moments, love moments, dad moments. Yeah. What about you? You got episodes, or is it clips, or is it just personality? What's the love?
I would have to say mostly clips. I loved it anytime he talks about was it Chester? No,
Cheddar,
Cheddar. Cheddar. Yeah.
my fluffy boy. That's what
And
Spencer
then
refers to me
sure do. Yeah.
when you braid my hair.
Yeah. When I can. Uh oh, he shaved this week. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, anytime with Cheddar, and then I remember one episode when they switched out Cheddar with another dog. He's like, "This is not Cheddar, this bitch."
He said, "This is just some basic bitch," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Takes a lot of things seriously. His husband and also Cheddar. Two things takes very seriously.
Yeah.
So love that. I love the clip that we showed when he's talking about dentistry. It's just a funny clip. He just goes off. How dentists think they're doctors. And it's just those small things that you just get so intense about and you get triggered. And I can really relate to that. So,
Yep. It's like when me and Spencer playing video games and someone else that he doesn't like talk shit, and he's just like, "I hope you die."
hey, to be fair, I go a little bit more strategic into just like, I hope you die. Like, my talking shit isn't just like, it's
Yeah, it's
a little bit more strategic.
A little bit more emasculating. It's a death by at least 10 swords, maybe not 1,000, but at least 10.
Hey, you know what? It's still a death.
Gets the job done. Yeah.
Hey, don't fuck with me.
Cheddar scenes are good. All the scenes in which they're in, like, it's just always the cutest moment. It's always like a slow motion moment. Like, here comes Cheddar, and he blows the whistle. Yeah. Because it's funny because usually he's super robotic.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime Cheddar's there, he turns into like this little kid.
Yeah. Totally.
So
I mean,
that's
I also
cool.
like the episodes when they were doing like the competitions, like who can steal what. Those are always good. Because you never know how it's gonna end. And also, I love that Holt actually gets a lot competitive. Like competitive Holt's pretty funny to watch. So.
Yep. I saw season 1, Jake wins.
Yeah.
Season 2, he wins.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, season 1 doesn't even count because I didn't even like know you're playing and it was a fake win. He's like, shit doesn't even count, matter. And then he'll pick teams. And like later in the scenes when he has to pick like either his friend, or like his wife at the moment, he's like, I'm not gonna pick you, you fucking backstabber. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. There's a one season where he picks his friend just to sideline his friend. It's like, I picked you just so he can't have you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's super competitive, super trash talking.
Mm-hmm.
The second season, he's like, Jake's like, well, at this moment, I just started planning. And then he's like, I've been planning for years, or like a whole year. It's pretty funny. I don't remember what season is now. Maybe it's not the second season. But he's just like, I've been planning for the whole year. And Jake's like, fuck.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Don't want the autistic guy to be planning shit for a year.
No, I don't need him to be planning shit.
Stop every scenario.
Every scenario, side quest, like, you're screwed.
I knew you would do that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Velvet Thunder.
Velvet. I forgot about that. Thunder. I love how you see this bottom teeth. Yeah. And his whole, like, how do you see all his teeth?
Yeah. He's got some big chompers. Not gonna lie.
No.
You know? Thunder. Makes it even better. Even more dramatic.
It does. The teeth.
Velvet Thunder.
Thunder. Now we know. When you really want to like impress someone, show them. So next time any of you are dating someone, those of you autistic individuals looking for dating advice, show them the teeth.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
You fluffy boy.
I'm a woman, damn it.
Who's this basic bitch?
This basic bitch.
It is wild. So, Spence, because I didn't know you obviously when this first came out. This came out like 14, something like that.
13.
13. Did you like look at this dude and be like, this dude's robot? Or you like this dude's definitely autistic, or what's the vibe when you first saw this as a younger boy?
Awkward. As a younger boy, and
Younger boy.
I just graduated college, high school. Either way, I know I was so smart. I didn't really watch it when it first came out. Honestly,
Okay.
I was probably just watching something else at the time. But when I did first watch it, I don't think I ever thought, like, before I met you, I was probably not like, autism.
Yeah.
It was more like, they are very just straight-laced and okay. I think sometimes when you have these characters that are so straight-laced, they are so much funnier when they like let loose or show emotion. That's why when you watch the first episode and you just see him being so straight-laced and stoic, you're like, okay, this is going to be in the intimidator for the show, right? And you thought you'd probably get that with Terry Crews's character too.
Yep.
But no, they're both softies, right?
Yep.
And so when you first kind of watch it, yeah, but then once it kind of keeps on going along, and you actually see like, oh wow, he's actually trying to make jokes. He's trying to be funny. He's actually a very sensitive person. It's great to see. It's great to see. And I think that's a lot better, I guess, PR for people who are maybe autistic too. I'm happy for those that, are self-diagnosed or diagnosed by a doctor and they're very outward about it. That's great. But then there are a lot of people who aren't and who actually are very stoic in a way, and yet they still have these flashes of just different emotions and it doesn't have to come out all the time.
No.
And that's what I like about the character is that he can be very serious, but then he can also be very fun and loving at the same time. So I love that about him.
Yeah, let's sit in that for a quick second. So even though he is very stoic, very reserved, very robotic, not a lot of facial affect, not a lot of emotion that comes out, very short-worded, quick-worded, what's it called?
Quick-worded?
Quick-worded? I feel like that's not right either. But he's very short with everything, and it's very intellectualized too. So it very much feels like you're talking to an encyclopedia, not really a person.
Right.
But, and maybe that's you. And there's a lot of folks out on the spectrum that are like that, a little bit isolated, right? Highly intelligent, shy, bashful, whatever, not, very stoic, reserved. And when everyone's talking, they're on the sideline. But everyone loves him. I want to make that very clear. Everybody on staff loves him. His entire squad loves him. So you could be that person that's not super bubbly, not super bright, that's not the star of the show, and still get a lot of love and attention and respect. Because it's based on the person that you are, and maybe not just some of these things that you emote. But your humanity is more than a smile. Your humanity is more than some of those subtle things that people do. People know if you're a good person by the things that you do, your works, the way you treat others. And he treats everyone with kindness and respect. And he has a very big moral compass, and he sticks to his ethics, who he is. I just want to be clear on that. So he is reserved in many ways, but also, everyone loves him. And Jake tries to, Jake got daddy issues. So, that's a whole different thing.
Father?
Father? There's so many episodes where he calls him father. Did you just call him father? No. Yes? So I think that's what I love about him too, is that you said, he's robotic in love and kindness. And that's what the word there is, the juxtaposition. You got this one version, and then he can tap into this other one, and it throws you off and it shocks you, and it's magnificent. If we talk about men and masculinity, it's the same thing. I was teasing someone the other day, and I was like, I got emotions too, asshole. I don't show any of you bastards, my coworkers. I only show them the idiot, But I don't ever show them any real gushy stuff. But every once in a while, it'll spit out. My students see it. Spencer sees it. The podcast sees it, but other folks don't see it. What I love about Ray is what you touched on, his like deep love for not only like his partner, but also his squad. Like those are his children. I mean, that's what he cares about. And there's a lot of other racial stuff and queer-based hate bias stuff in there too, right? Gay cop, you're going to see the one scene, or there's a couple scenes when he walks into the precinct and they're like, you here to turn yourself in, boy? There's the one scene where he's like, yeah, I had a partner and he, he's a homophobe, but he wasn't racist. And he's like, that's pretty good back then.
You only choose so much.
For real. So I'm going with this. One of my favorite scenes, but it's not like a happy favorite scene, is when Terry Crews's character has to make a complaint on this white guy that arrests him and beats him up in his own hometown when he was going to look for a little girl's doll that got lost. It was it's also the white cop in Dexter in the original series, the white dude that was always super fucking tan. The asshole.
I know who you're talking about.
So he beats up Terry Crews's character. Terry Crews wants to file a report, report this dude for harassment. So Captain Holt squashes it. It's like, don't do that. It's going to ruin your record. You're applying for all these promotions. He sits down with the white guy. White guy's like, fuck you, man. You know what you were doing. You should be in that neighborhood. And you shouldn't be looking suspicious. And he's like, this is racist as shit. Mm-hmm. Then he decides to go against Captain Holt and says, I'm filing this. Captain Holt freaks out, says no. Terry Crews goes, you fought so hard for all these things so we could make complaints on people like this. You did it one way, being this black queer individual back in the day. So you had to repress and hide a lot of stuff and deal with it. Now we can get people in trouble. Mm-hmm. He does get the white dude in trouble. He gets paid administrative leave. So we've heard that term a lot when there's a lot of racial hate biases happen with officers. And then Terry Crews does get hurt actually from it. He doesn't get the promotion that he was supposed to. But he thought that he did right. So him and Captain Holt have a really good moment. He's like, I'm proud of you. He's in, I apologize. That was a good moment for Captain Holt because he's realizing that all of us do this. We have our own little vision, implicit or internal biased. We only see things from our point of view. And sometimes we can guide people and not get out of our own way. Even therapists like me, I'm guiding people. It's still by my point of view. I'm guiding you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I need to do some introspection. What's going on right here? Why am I doing this? Why am I saying this? Why am I feeling this? Would I say this if this is a white individual in front of me, or a white male in front of me, a brown male in front of me? So you need to think about that sometimes. Mm-hmm. That was a good episode. What was another favorite clip out of the 15, 20 clips that we saw?
I really liked the, Velvet Thunder is always a good one.
It was
just
good.
because the whole episode is now he's finally opening up to Jake and actually going to he's starting to actually use the vernacular that Jake uses, which is always cool. Because like I said before, once he starts opening up, then you're like, wow, this is such a great character. Even though they're keeping their stoicism to they're still stoic and they're still, I'm not making a ton of facial expressions. Now they're actually you have these moments that are so selective and you get to see the joy in the character, and it's not just a one-sided, person anymore.
You appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Because it's so little that you see that. So it makes you really appreciate all the Velvet Thunder. So it reminds me when you're trying to teach someone in therapy, mm-hmm. What's their language? You putting the riz on them, girl. You putting that riz on. So I said riz, and my student goes, don't ever talk to me ever again. I was like, well, fuck you then. Hope your ass fails. So when you're trying to teach people how to maybe make eye contact, handshakes, appropriateness, topics, how to start a conversation. So it reminds me of like Jake, where he always tries to get him to be more, I'm going to use this and it's going to sound, bad, but more human instead of more robotic. It's going to be more like emotional. So you can have these conversations in relationships. Because if you're going to run into some other spectrum-y folks, if it's two introverted spectrum-y folks, y'all probably not going to talk to each other because you're going to be like, fuck it. Or I don't want to because I'm anxious. So Jake tries to give him some of that swag. And I find that doing with clients all the time. Just teaching them small things. So I'm going to go a little pivot. The one scene, hilarious. The scene where so I heard science research study that if you smile for amount of time, it makes you happy. And the big fat dude reminds me of me. He's just a straight up idiot. And he's like, if I hold this, my fucking teeth are going to just turn to dust.
My enamel is gone. I feel everything. Feel a cold breeze.
He's like, if you brush your fucking teeth, he's like, I do, you jackass.
It's acid reflux.
You piece of shit. So that reminds me when the therapist, so technically Captain Holt in this situation is trying to teach other folks that are also autistic on how to be more personable and not normal, but more personable for job interviews, like dates, stuff like that, when you're trying to make these connections. So smiling, reciprocity, and like language, asking them some questions instead of going on for 24 hours about a barrel made by some random dude, and then you talk about another barrel. So there's a few nuances about meeting new humans. Doesn't matter if they're on the spectrum or not, or neurotypical or not. And so that scene is hilarious. Hilarious. Because, right, I've had some students in there and we're practicing smiling, Spencer, and like I have them go home and practice it sometimes. And they'll be in their nods, I figured it out, and they'll be like,
yeah.
Yeah, so
you like some cheese.
That looks like you just squished 3 of your hamsters to death.
And keep patting me.
Yeah, you're proud of me.
No.
Which then leads into the other one, which is I've used to mess around with Tara to figure out, because she hated eyebrow lifting. So I actually sent her that scene. Or no, we watched it in my office. And she's like, turn it off. Turn it off. She just can't handle facial expressions. And so I want you to walk in there. Detective, pump. I know what you did with that lady. Pump, pump.
Pump, pump.
He's like, he's going to know a double pump?
Double pump? What?
And I've literally have gone through this, like smiling, all of it, questions, I literally all of it. And that scene is perfect of trying to teach someone on the spectrum. But then think about it. It's a fucking idiot like me that's also autistic trying to teach someone that's autistic on how to be neurotypical. And how the fuck do I know about neurotypical conversations?
This is how you be quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Today I shook a dude's hand and I put my middle finger in there and massaged it. Heavy petting.
Oh my God.
Heavy petting. And so his wife, she shakes his hand and then massages his hand with the other one. And she's like, what the fuck did she say? I like to double hit it or double tap it, or like, it sounded so sexual. I was like, you like to double hit it, huh, girl?
Like, you need to stop. Don't ever say that again.
Can you double hit me? Good.
I really love to be double tapped. No.
Double tapped? Oh, she's like, girl, do you know what you just said?
Don't ever say that in public. Don't.
One of my Spectrum boys at work, I put the fist out there to say goodbye, and he looks at it.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, whenever you see someone not know how to fist bump, tease them.
Tease them.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna hit you.
And then, I hear you right now. People are like, oh, it's cultural. Maybe white folks don't know how to do it, this and that. I'm like, nah. We know some white folks, they'll be like,
No, it's an autism thing. White people know how to fist bump too.
Okay, so it's just autism. My old boss was autistic. I put it out there once, and she rock, paper, scissors that motherfucker. I was like, you're so white.
Can't make that up.
You can't. It was so awkward. It's always funny. Whenever you get that limp noodle hand too, you're like, you're autistic as shit. I had to teach Slim how to shake hands like repeatedly in the car when we were going in for an interview at Goodwill. I was like, hey man, this is what you're gonna do. You ain't gotta look the motherfucker in the eye. I need you to grab my hand. He just slaps it on me. I'm like, don't you put that thing on me now, boy. So we literally practiced it for like 15, 20 minutes in the car. And my dad's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Just shaking hands in the car.
So when the police pull up, we saw two grown Arab men in the parking lot shaking hands and braiding beard hair.
I think they were trying to send a message in ASL.
Yep.
Some shit.
Yep. It was just about squeezing and squeezing. I suck at handshakes too. I usually undershoot it and I get pinched.
You just gotta jam it in there.
I know. I gotta jam it in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be like.
I feel like I don't have the length for that.
I actually had that recently where like one of my coworkers, they were visiting because they work remote in a different state.
Okay.
And so met them for the first time. I was sitting down, he was standing up above me, shook his hand, and he just like, you could tell it was like one of those, like he was trying to intimidate or some shit because
Strong.
he kept on like shaking and looking me in the face. And I'm like, okay, got it. I got it. Thank you.
I'm your slave now.
I love a good handshake.
You know, I've had it. I think because I'm so big, people want to like go in there and squeeze it pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, like so many innuendos.
I didn't even mean. Oh shit! I was passed out.
Yeah,
I didn't even mean that one.
Take another sip of take another sip.
Well, I feel like as soon as I get squoze, they're like queer. Instantly, that's what I feel like. They're like, you old feminine ass. I'm like, I feel so bad. It's like they dominated me. Yeah. I hate hand. That's why I stick to fist bumps because I can't get paid doing a fist bump.
I know. You do not like handshakes at all.
At all.
At all. That was one of the things I had to really learn not to do.
Yeah.
When I saw you, I would just feel like this.
Should have seen it when we went to Detroit.
Like, I can't do it.
I saw my boy in Detroit first time in like 2 years. I'm like, what up, dog?
Well, yeah, you can't even do like the dap up. Like we never did the dap up either. You know, just like, are you
like I see you. We don't need to touch. I see you. I'll braid your hair, motherfucker, but I don't need to touch your hand.
Can't tap you up, but you know what? I make a mean braid.
Let me get in there. Pigtails? Okay. It's just so funny, man. I just remember me and one student who was going to be a lawyer. We were just working on facial expressions, and we're literally just showing her how to use her eyebrows and smile, and she's like, "This does." I'm like, "You're not asexual. You're just weird as shit."
She looked like fucking. She looked like Bobby Boucher's dad at the end of Waterboy. Bobby.
Oh
Bobby.
my god! Yeah. What movie was it?
I'm definitely clipping that into this.
Yeah. Well, or just go with it. I think when the plastic surgeon has the eyebrow that floats in her head. Can you imagine her talking to an autistic person? So these scenes, Raymond Holt, it was funny, but also like validating in a lot of ways. You know, here's one of the story times that relates to this. Went to his baby shower today.
Oh, nice.
It was super cool, right? Folks are cool. All my coworkers, right? There's some autistic folks in there too now. But it was just loud. And if I'm not like talking, you know, and I'm just hearing all of it. So, you know, I went and sat outside for a minute. People are like, it's loud in there. I'm like, yeah, bitch. I painted the baby a shirt. Everyone's painting baby onesies. It was like a thing at the baby shower. And they're beautiful stars and, you know, trees, forestry. Someone did Mickey Mouse and then all these I love you things. You know what I put on it? Black letters, I. Underneath it, 2 words down, you, in black. The middle word in red, hate. So it says, "I hate you."
Why?
I
would
know it's
you do
funny.
that?
Well, you know, it's May the Sith be with you today, so it's May the
You're just
5th.
that one guy that always. I'm like that too, where I'm just like, people are too happy here. Let's mix this up.
Yep.
Let's mix.
Everyone saw it, and they're all like,
I know they never can have fun with it. They're like, haha, yes.
I'm like, tell me you don't hate this baby right now. You didn't change the 10th diaper of the day. Baby done pissed on you. You know, you don't hate it?
Yeah.
That baby hates you too. You keep changing that shitty diaper. It just wants to play in its shit. That's what they say. We were playing the baby games, and they did the shit where they put the candy. I don't know. I think you told me about it, where they put the candy in the diaper, and you got to figure out what the candy is in the diaper. You told me about this.
Well, yeah, they did that on NBA on TNT.
Okay.
Yeah, Charles Barkley almost passed out live on the set.
Bro, I almost threw up. I saw that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Almost threw up. And I said, I ain't playing with no one's diaper but mine. You know, I like playing around and shit, but it's got to be my own shit.
Why are there so many peanuts in there?
Oh, hell. Yeah, we're going to do a pivot. I saw that first one. I was like, I ain't playing this shit. Nope.
It's just a Ruth bar. They're
like, Nas, get your big autistic ass back in here. I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm going to sit by the Domino's pizza.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to smell it.
I'm put a thing on it.
Extra sausage.
So let's do another little pivot. So the cast. So obviously it's a show about autism. This is why I wanted to do this character. Really loved him. But also Jake, right? The white dude. Super ADHD, the white dude. He won the Wayman.
The white guy.
How else am I going to describe him?
The young guy? The main character?
The young white man.
There you go.
Definitely has ADHD. Definitely a lot of childhood stuff. Definitely some traumas and bullying in the old days. Definitely neurodivergent. You got Rosa. Super stoic, reserved, quiet, badass. And you see her family, which is pretty much like somewhat of a normal family, super Christian family, kind of oppressive when it comes to like her queer identity later in the story. But she's very reserved, feels a little autistic to me, not suspicious. What's it called? Ominous.
There you go.
Yeah, she got the Hades vibe.
Hades.
You've got Amy Santiago. OCD, perfectionistic.
Probably also daddy issues maybe in there too, because she's like really tries to like suck up to Raymond a lot, especially in the beginning. So
yep, any type of the superiority she sucks up to. So that's perfectionism, deep insecurity. And so you get a lot of folks on the spectrum with that perfectionistic, go, always people pleasing. I've got a couple kiddos for graduation. I'm giving away the book, wonderful autistic woman. I'm giving away the book, The Giving Tree, right? Because they just give, and then they just die. And so she comes off very spectrumy to me, just the way she is. Her Excel sheets, her dad's autistic as shit too. The booklets that she's got with all the tabs, these are the shitty tabs. As soon as someone says they have shitty tabs, you're autistic.
Dumb has so many tabs.
She does?
She tabs everything.
Autistic as shit.
I know. She gave me like some tabs that she was like, I hate these ones. These ones suck. I was like,
that's the most autistic thing in the day. To be fair, I've only saw a few people at the baby shower, but autistic thing of the day.
Yeah, she loves her tabbies. Loves the tabbies.
Is it certain ones or certain colors that she hates?
It's certain ones, like some ones that you can't like really get good writing on. Like,
Okay.
and I got that because even I tried them out and I was like, yeah, these kind of suck because you can't actually like write anything on there. But yeah,
not as autistic, but still,
it's up there.
It's okay.
Probably watch this and be like,
son of a bitch. Who else we got? Boyle, super weird, super just weird family, awkward, socially awkward, kind of gets abused by his wife and then ex-wife. So you see that like he gets taken advantage of by a lot of people. Loves to dress up for Halloween, super goofy. cook. A lot of folks on the spectrum are master chefs. You know, he's also a blogger, a food blogger, like really intense food blogger. He's got that master yeast dough that's sitting in his fucking desk. We do shout out to Boyle, as he is the one true Boyle, because he opened up the master dough. And there you go. Holt, bodybuilder for sure. I think he might be actually autistic in real life.
Holt?
Or not Holt. Sorry, Captain Terry. What the hell is he? Lieutenant Holt.
I think. No, it's Captain Holt, and then is it Lieutenant
It's
Jeffords?
Lieutenant. Oh, Lieutenant Jeffords. There you go. He tries to get promoted to captain, and then that's when he gets shut down.
Mm-hmm.
His character, just in general, is just hilarious. All of them are neurodivergent for sure. You got the two knuckleheads that are just eating ADHD, just fucking fat as shit. Then there's some flashbacks when they're like gorgeous. Oh yeah, her, the assistant, definitely autistic. A little narcissist too.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's magnificent to have all those folks, to have all those squad. I would love to have a squad like that. So many different characters.
Mm-hmm.
And Holt has his own story arc with every single one of like parenting, loving, nurturing, guiding. He gets Jake to be more mature and an adult. He gets Amy to chill out, but then also finally be secure in who she is as a woman, as an officer, as a captain. Mm-hmm. He gets Holt when he was Jeffers when he's super scared about guns and all that, gets him over his PTSD related issues. He gasses him up in good ways. Like, so you see this character, he gets Rosa to chill, become more human, more loving, more open, more connection and family oriented. I mean, he does magnificent with all of them without being the most affectionate.
Sure.
I think that's what we're pushing this pod is you can do all these magnificent things without being the most expressive. You don't have to be. You're going to need a partner and friends to just know that's who you are. So it's like with that asshole Colin, right? You just, he's not going to give you many words. He loves you. He just, he's never going to call you.
he's not really going to talk to you that much, but you know what? He can feel your love.
He loves you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He just, if he wants to sit and eat a pizza with you, if he doesn't immediately run away from you, he loves you. As soon as he starts pacing, just know it's time to go. Wherever he's at, as soon as he starts pacing, time to go.
Time to leave now.
Time to leave. He's like, I'm good. I'm glad that him and his partner stayed together in the show because that was touch and go for a little bit there.
Right.
As someone that's autistic, or also because of his other identities, being black, being queer, or obviously he's not labeled autistic in the show. Proving yourself is always a thing. Proving yourself is always a thing. So he overworks and he overworks and he overworks. Well, now it's impacting his relationship and his partner and the love and intimacy. So hence the bone scene. Because, maybe you just need, one of y'all need to pipe it up because I don't know what's one getting piped, but someone needs a pipe. Anyone call a doctor or a plumber? Is there a dentist in the room?
If she would have mentioned dentist, like boning a dentist, probably would have sent him over the edge.
When they try to set him up that profile. I forgot what he said, but that was super weird. He's like, I sound like a hua.
I sound like a... Oh.
Yeah. The scene where they're mocking him doing the marshmallow was good.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Gelatinous.
Yeah.
Gelatin.
A marshmallow. And then he does it. Sounds like Yoda in the fucking Fortnite backpack. It was terrifying.
He didn't even say like marshmallow. He's like marshed mellow.
He's just so particular. Concrete, very concrete, doesn't get the sarcasm. And I feel like now that you know about all the spectrumy stuff, you're starting to appreciate that now more, the coded characters.
Yeah.
I was telling you in My Hero Academia how the one boy I think is like autistic, and a couple folks are like, it's the autistic boy that I work with too. He's like, I was like, think about it, bro. He got echolalia just like you. He's like, oh shit, you're right. I was like, yeah, dude, that's representation.
We got one.
He's the strongest, greatest hero alive. Better than All Might.
To be fair, All Might got fucked up. All right.
He did.
Got fucked up. Couldn't even transform into All Might anymore.
Yeah, he lost
This motherfucker was just Ted.
He just a skinny autistic white boy.
And he couldn't even talk shit.
He could
just punch him in the gut. He did.
I know.
So
yeah, that was just good scenes. Hopefully all of you laugh at these scenes. Wanted to do it out of respect, but then also just hellatism. The whole show, if you watch it, you'll see it, you'll laugh at it, you'll appreciate it. I loved him in some of the other shows that he was in as well. There was one he did with Ray Romano that I really enjoyed when they were all just dads.
okay.
That was really good. And they were dads. He had diabetes in the show. It was sad because it was all these just older dads, and then I think they were like single dudes too. So that was interesting. And then I think he was in another cop show too.
I think so. He's been in so many shows.
A lot of shows. So he's a really good actor. It's not just this. This is just one of his longest running series.
Oh yeah, he was in Glory. I think he gotten in like a nomination for something in that.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah. He was in this show called Homicide: Life on the Street.
Was he in another big hit show though?
The only other show
Top show?
It's not showing anything that's like
okay. Forget it.
like his top.
All right. Yeah, I thought there was another one in there.
Maybe.
It's just, let's talk about this real quick and then we can get out. Is it weird for you to watch a show that the dude has passed? Like, is it, because for me, it's weird because I've been watching it for, 10 years. I don't know. For you, is it weird or like, no, or like, but you know that he died. So is it nostalgia? I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Does it bring up anything?
Yeah. I mean, for me, there's like sometimes there's like a faint moment to where you're like, oh, fuck. Like, you can never meet them. You can never like really see them. But other than that, it doesn't really kind of come up because I'm just focusing on them in the show, right?
Okay.
And like it sucks because then there won't be anything more after that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Grief.
So you won't get another season, you won't get a reunion with him, which sucks. And it's kind of like Uncle Phil in Fresh Prince, right?
That was a tough one.
That was a big one. Because such a great show, such a great character. And when they did like the reunion, it just feels like something's missing and someone's missing, and there was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just kind of go into shows just even I like shows where you know that there was already an ending to it and they passed after the ending, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier then because then you can just focus on that ending and then the character and just being like, okay.
There's a finality to it.
Yeah. And it's a little tougher when like the show is still going
and the person dies.
Someone passes.
Yeah.
Like in Gen V, one of the characters, like the actual guy died.
Yeah, he just died
in real
recently.
life. Yeah, and he was gonna be an up and coming actor. I really liked him in Gen V.
He was.
And it kind of sucks because now, you can't see what else they're gonna be in.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too soon. It's like when I watch any Robin Williams things, you just miss that the world doesn't have that person.
Yeah.
That entity, that humanity. You miss that they can't even do voice characters anymore. Or like you said, even the reunion. And I guess now, and this is very selfish, but you watch it and you're laughing and enjoying it, but then it's polluted because it's also sad because just as me for the instantaneous happiness that it brings, it also triggers the thought of, oh, they're not here anymore. But don't forget that they're not here anymore.
Right.
And sometimes it also makes it even sweeter, actually, because you just appreciate it, but it's still sad.
Yeah.
And I feel like him more so than maybe some of the actors, because he's not super famous, but also he's like entrenched in my life for so long. I remember I had a student. So this is a story time, Spence, but tied to it. He came into therapy at St. Mary's when one of those writers died, or the singers died. It was a white dude that does some it was like rap, but not necessarily all rap.
Mac
Miller, dude, he had to come into therapy for it. He's like, dude, this stuff got me through some stuff, man. This and that. I mean, there was other stuff in there too that he needed to talk about, but he's like, that was it. Like, he was like, I gotta come to. I never met him before. Well, I met him all the time because we will hoop together. And then that happened. He's like, dude, hey man, I please pull me aside. He's like, we got to talk. Like, one of my heroes like died. I was like, okay, let's talk about it. And then I listened to some of the Mac Miller stuff, and it's actually pretty good. And I can understand why my boy really related to him. You know, these people mean something to a lot of people. Right? The songs. I know if some of my favorite artists were to pass, I'd be devastated too that were singers. I feel like maybe even songs could be even more emotional, like connecting, than maybe movies and shows. That's an interesting thing to think about. Because music can evoke so many more emotions compared to shows. Shows can too, though. There's just so many episodes.
True.
I mean, yeah, who knows? Because I cried in the beginning of X-Men of '97 when all the people were passing. I don't really know these characters. It's just the loss. Any loss for me, anyone experiencing loss hurts.
Right.
Interesting topics. For those of you that are also neurodivergent, autistic, super big impasse, ton of mirroring neurons, let us know if you have any people in your life and through movies, shows, songs, music, art that have passed and that you still really love, but it hurts every time that you see their creativity, their art, their musings. Let us know. Let us know on YouTube or on the podcast. I'm going to put this as a question. Let us know if anyone affects you the way Captain Holt affects me and Spence. Or like, he talked about someone, also Mac Miller. You got Robin Williams that we've done multiple podcasts on, right? Yeah, because there's been a lot of people passing in a few years, dude. Like, just so many people dying.
Lance Riddick, that was a tough one.
Yeah, I know the Dragon Ball person. I know that killed a lot of people, like emotionally.
Yeah. Which is interesting because it's like, he created Dragon Ball, the comic book and everything like that, or the manga. But like, he didn't really have anything to do with like the show and stuff, and yet still, yeah. So I mean, he might have been like a producer or something, but he was mainly just did the manga for it. And yeah, they kind of did the show with on their own, but yeah, I mean, still though, such a huge impact, and without that manga, it was like you wouldn't have the show,
bro. I mean, I know that's one of the staples for a lot of folks on the spectrum, a lot of black folk too. Like when I went to school, everyone was watching that shit. And I know that meant a lot to everyone because that's all you saw all over the whole internet was that. Took over the internet. Captain Holt. Sorry, I should use his Spence. Use his full name?
Andre Braugher.
Andre Braugher. So, Andre Braugher, it's tough, but it wasn't like a lot of folks. It was probably millions, but not like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Well, that's like a whole cultural
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love people that are good at their craft. Gotta love representation of neurodivergent individuals, the whole cast. Condolences to the Andrew Bauer fans, family, friends, the cast members. I'm sure they took that hard. That had to have been devastating for the cast members. Yeah, I can't even imagine having someone that close that you work with for 10 years. I mean, me and you've known each other 10 years. That'd be like you dying after 10 years. Knock on wood. It's not me.
It's just like, you next.
I'll find someone else to braid my hair.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad I'm so replaceable.
Yeah, replaceable. Yeah. Any seasonings before we get out of here, Spence?
No, just, shout out to Andre Braugher, family, and all the people he worked with. Rest in peace, honestly.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of laughs, lots of tears. So,
Yeah.
All right. With that, once again, check out BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/DSP, 10% off. Your first month of therapy. Go check it out. If you're kind of going through a hard time and you want to do some remote therapy, great time to actually check it out.
Yes.
Especially, you can get a little bit of a deal off BetterHelp. So, please go check that out. And yeah, I'm Spencer. That's Nas, Different Spectrums Podcast.
All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves. I messed it up. Much love and take care of yourselves.
No doubt.
That's completely up to you. All right. Good evenings.
Those weed gummies.
Weed gummy.
What?
Could be a shot of whiskey too. All right, bye.